Hey you guys, it's Willow. So I wanted to share with you some of this grand jury hearing that the transcripts that I pretty much have dissected because I've read them so many times. And I'm going to leave in the description below a link to where you can read these. So I found some things that were really questionable about this. You see here where it says, but what happened is, what happened is an interview or meeting takes place at Buddy Gregg. We've been able to verify participants at this meeting were individuals, salesmen, and another individual, Buddy Gregg. Mr. Bean is present in the room as identified. And we also hear a lady by the Miss Giraffe identifying herself on the phone. And what she does, she holds herself out as an attorney representing Mr. Bean and Mr. Bean's trust. She actually says she's a lawyer. She doesn't say she's an attorney, which is two different things. And I found this really interesting here because if you read this, he says, Mr. Bean is present in the room as identified. And we also hear a lady by the Miss Giraffe. I guess he was going to say by the name of Miss Giraffe. Identify herself on the phone. He says, we also hear a lady. So my question is, he did not hear Mrs. Giraffe speaking on that phone conversation until he watched a video online. From what I understand, that's what he's supposedly said later on in this testimony. But if you read in the beginning of the testimony, he says, but what happened is, this is what is. I'm reading it exactly like it is, and it sounds ridiculous. What happened is an interview or meeting takes place at Buddy Gregg. We've been able to verify participants at this meeting were individuals, salesmen, and another individual, Buddy Gregg. Mr. Bean is present in the room as identified. And we also hear a lady by the Miss Giraffe identify herself on the phone. He says, we also hear a lady. So was he in the room with Randall Bean? Did he hear Heather Antucci Giraffe on the phone identifying herself? Because that doesn't make, why wouldn't he say, these were the people in the room and Heather Tucci called and there was a conversation on the phone. He says, we also hear a lady by the name, he should have said by the name of Miss Giraffe, identify herself on the phone. So it doesn't make sense to me that he's telling this story as if he was in that room when Heather was having the phone call with Randy, or with the salesmen and the individuals and Buddy Gregg and all of them who were in this room. I'm going to read it again. It says, but what happened is, this is what happened. What happened is an interview or a meeting takes place at Buddy Gregg. We've been able to verify participants at this meeting were individuals, salesmen, and other individuals, Buddy Gregg. Mr. Bean is present in the room as identified. And we also hear a lady by the Miss Giraffe identify herself on the phone. And what she does, she holds herself out as an attorney representing Mr. Bean and Mr. Bean's trust. Am I wrong, or does it sound like he was in that room? How could he say that there was a meeting that occurred, that he knows that these people were in the room if he didn't actually physically see these people in the room. And, and then he's going to say, we also hear a lady identify herself on the phone. Was he in there to hear a woman identifying herself on the phone? Because he doesn't say in the beginning of the jury transcripts that, in this whole transcript right here in this part, if you go to the link below and you read this, he doesn't say, these are the people that were in the meeting, and then Heather Antucci supposedly called, which we heard a video online of that call. He says that later, but here he's making it seem like he was in the room. Tell me what you guys think below in the comments, because I find it really weird. And then also, another thing that I found really weird is that here it says, Miss Davidson says, or a jury says, "Are we having fun yet?" ? Miss Davidson says, "Yeah, I know. And this all happened too, y'all. It takes us usually months to investigate these things." Any other factual questions? Okay. She basically just told on herself. It does take months to investigate situations like this. It takes months to get subpoenas. It takes months to get warrants. It takes months to get those things. How were they able to get warrants and subpoenas and all this stuff that they needed in less than a few days? Enough to indict someone, put someone in jail, like the United States of America versus this person. Where's the warrants at? Where's the subpoenas and the warrants and the investigation? All they're going on is, I guess, what the bank gave them. But it's still like they went and arrested him supposedly on traffic violations. There is no way. I had a warrant in Northern Virginia for years. Okay? They would not even come get me from Maryland. There's no way that they are going to have a warrant to arrest him in Tennessee on traffic violations from another state. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it totally doesn't make sense that they're saying that this investigation normally takes months. Okay, it should take months to investigate something like this. Like, I don't see how they were able to do what they did without warrants and investigation, warrants that were signed by judges. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but it just seems really strange that she would say that, because it does take months to investigate something like this. How were they able to throw people in jail when there wasn't even enough time to investigate any of this or get warrants for any of the information? Anyways, you guys, thanks you guys for listening to this. Please like, share, and comment. I love you. Bye.